Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Oh, I need to be more excited. Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Today we're going to talk about a really serious topic. College. Colleges in America. Has come to the attention of Congress, which of course moves very slow, that there is a problem on college campuses. This push to have indoctrinate the students into a leftist way of thinking is actually hurting the economy. Imagine that. Now, I purchased this lovely herbal kit, super manly spray bottle. And if you want to see that, leave me a comment below that you wanted me to do a whole video concerning me growing the lovely herbs. I believe it has basil, chives, cilantro. Okay. And as you can see, I'm wearing my chef coat. So what's the problem? How is it hurting the economy? This is some serious, really serious. This is me being super excited. You all know I'm a heart patient and I have high blood pressure, so I can't be too excited. So if you want to see somebody jumping around and jump up and get down, this is not the show for you. So what's the problem, Shakaama? What's really going on? Well, it has come out that employers are saying that the product of colleges and universities, no matter how prestigious, no matter how much you pay, the actual product that's being produced from university and colleges across the United States of America is lackluster. Oh, you mean everybody's not graduating in engineering? No, 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 no. The product that they're actually producing is lackluster. Namely, they're saying that kids can't read, kids can't communicate, kids can't speak English. I'm not talking about foreign kids. I'm talking about USDA pure 100% FDA beef grade A Americans can't read with comprehension. They can't speak English and communicate properly. These are people with college degrees. We're not talking about these are athletes. We're not talking about these are boys from the hood. We're talking about actual whammons with their degrees in social studies or women's studies or whatever, are coming out and their English is bad. Their writing skills are bad. They can't hire them for the basic stuff. So, the big, huge corporations have taken it upon themselves to actually institute and start their own universities right on their company property. Because the production of actual college kids with degrees is so bad, so egregious, the companies have taken it upon themselves. Also, for companies who systematically donate to schools, you know that happens, right? And so they donate millions of dollars, kind of like Bill Cosby, donate millions of dollars to schools thinking that by donating it will alleviate some of the heartaches and hardships of not having money for the schools for certain programs, that it would help the school along, which would then help the teachers along, which would then help the whole culture along, and therefore help produce better people and students. No, it doesn't help, because a lot of the bureaucracy that goes on with producing an actual college kid with a degree is literally like 4 or 5 years in the making, and making adjustments takes about 4 or 5 years. So you have a span of 4 or 5 years where all of those kids go through still on the old policy, and the freshman that enters at the 5th year gets the new policy. Guess what? All of the new stuff is obsolete by the time he actually graduates. Or in this case, I'm sorry, she graduates, because college is now a majority of she's female. Now, so what's the problem? What's really going on? This whole idea that the leftist dogma is fantastic and it's progressive is actually impacting the school curriculum. It's actually impacting what the kids are learning, or in this case, not learning. So that the English classes are not rigorous English classes. They don't teach English rigorously anymore. So I'm assuming they run off and read Jack and Jill. I took writing courses where I was supposed to end up writing instructional manuals that go to it. So even in there, I was still a part of the engineering process, because I will be a technical writer for technical technical sneezing, technical writer for technical programs. So this was a practical skill that I could then translate into going to work for IBM to write all of their technical manuals. When people say English major today, what they mean is they read poetry. They sat around and discussed some of the fantastic women's writings. That is not a marketable skill. So at my school, when I graduated, you could get a specialization in technical writing and go work for corporate America for any sort of engineering firm, and you would be the go-to guy or a part of their team to write all of the technical manuals, all of the stuff that people throw away. But you have to technically write that, right? You technically have to make sure that you provide that. Let's not leave that on the floor so I step on it, slip and fall, and that'll be the end of the Shakaama live show. So the English is bad. The leftists are revamping history so that history says stuff that absolutely nobody over the age of 30 agrees with, or even thinks is even factual. They are rewriting history. So the people with history degrees, or the people who take history classes in college, now have all sorts of weird ideas of what actually happened on the planet, because somebody has come along and said, oh, this is wrong and we shouldn't teach this. They are now taking out poets. They are taking out authors. We don't need male authors. We shouldn't study male authors. We shouldn't study white male authors. So now, if you're at the embassy and the French ambassador comes up to you and says, my Johnny, for this part, my Jean-Pierre has just been studying D.H. Lawrence. And of course you go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't study that. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, Ambassador. Yeah, sorry about that. Have you heard of Helen Hunt, though? she's a great feminist author. No, never heard of her. You haven't heard of Helen? We spent the whole year on her. Never heard of her. She wrote the fantastic Women in Judicial Court. Nope, never heard of her. Sorry. Tell you what, there, buddy. We're gonna move on and schmooze with somebody else. Okay? Sorry about that. Bye bye. So now you don't get your schmoozing points with the French ambassador. You can't say that you have anything in common with him because now you don't know anything that he could relate to because you have this education that is not good. This is just an example, but this is what's going on, and so universities now are reeling, and they're having to revamp their systems, and they're having to take a look at their systems that they have gone so far left that it's now impacted their actual schooling to the point that you are getting pretty much a trash degree with trash studies. We're not talking about anything outside of engineering is trash. We're talking about the stuff that it even isn't trash is trash. we're talking about they have gone so far to try and make sure everything is politicized to the point where you're not learning. Now, you can research your school and you want to take a look at what Google, what Microsoft, what Amazon, what all of the tech giants, what all of the GE, any sort of corporation that actually has a corporate university. Did you know McDonald's has a university of its own? Any sort of corporation with a university should have also a listing of how they feel or how they rate certain schools, because if the school is already doing the job for them and they don't have to pay, because then they're paying for the company university, they will rate the other schools and say anybody who graduates from this school is okay, anybody who graduates from these schools are not okay. This is reality. It's gone too far. You've infused politics into a place where politics doesn't belong. So that you don't even have basic education, and you have a degree in your hand. You have a degree. You have a degree in your hand that means nothing, and it's even worse than the whole urban myth that anybody with an English degree has a garbage degree. Well, it's worse than that. It's more garbage than garbage. Like I said, I could be a technical writer because that was part of the English department that you could, and we actually had people from IBM come in and say, hey, would you like to be a technical writer? It sounded so boring to me, but that is a marketable skill, and you would have an English degree. But it was so rigorous and so technical and so skill oriented that it was a marketable degree, a marketable skill that you could actually graduate and go make oodles, the seemingly oodles amount of money. Because it's just I'm sure the technical writing staff for a corporation is not thousands and thousands of people. I'm sure it's maybe 20, maybe 50. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. This is an update. I'm sorry to tell you people, but this is what's going on right now. And hey, guess what? All of this stuff, when you apply rigor to this, and this is a specific word that they kept using, the corporate people kept using. There is no rigor in school anymore because they want to, they want to have safe spaces, and they want to have. We're not talking about safe spaces, liberal versus anybody else. We're talking about safe spaces of the teacher literally does want to teach. And they are telling the universities that the teachers need to go back to school and study to bring the rigor back into the class. You can get an art degree and bring rigor into the actual art degree, and the person comes out with a marketable skill. How? They could be your curator of this and that and the other. I know this is from the Mesozoic period. This is the history of this is from the ancient Mayans used to crush corn into right rigor. Not I like blue. I like pink. Oh my god. Oh, I really like lime. I made fun of the company as I was buying this. I said, "Look at this very manly spray." I said, "I guess men." The other color was pink. It says, "I guess men don't do gardening." Not that you get all of your food from men to begin with. Rigor, rigor. Anyway, I'm sorry to tell you that this is the state of the union right now, as far as colleges are concerned. People are literally saying, graduate from high school, go to a corporate university. Yeah, that's what's going on. No more college degrees. That's what's going on. That's the future. And that's what that they are actually hiring 18-year-olds to come work for their corporation and train them on the job and pay for their training and then have them work for them. That's what's going on. Thank you all for watching. Like the video. Please thumbs up. This is how it works.